Hey there, and welcome to this installment of coverage from The Big One, which is a tournament, a charity tournament put on by The Final Swindle, care of Karen and Zeramis. So without further ado, you should see on your screen the matchup for this particular game. And if you want further details, they'll be in the video description below. Let's hop into it. Oh man, here we go. So we got 3 more rounds to go, right? I got this round, then we're going to have a round with just 1 game going. Well, I guess the next 2 rounds will only have 1 game. Of course, Uchti playing Crimson, the Mathematician of Brahmadarl, and Misspelled Collage, Dofri. Is Collage misspelled? Is that not how you spell Collage? Or is it just...
That would be funny. I'm sure it's spelled right, but that would be funny. So we've got a grand student with Legatus Raptor Golden Spiral, Tribute Six Semper as the big outs. There's also some great stuff in Star Alliance and Logos that it can lean into as well. And then, of course, Crimson, the Mathematician of Brahmadarl, with a pretty special library access phase shift hysteria turn when they've got their Dexters and a whole bunch of other stuff out to just have an absolutely insane turn. Some big outs in Mars and Dis themselves as well. So
we do see the turn 1 Terror come down from Uchti, generating 2
turn 1
Ember.
Scutum on Legatus, yeah.
What could possibly go wrong here? But I mean, getting a Zizix down early is pretty nice.
Yes,
feel like
love Zizix.
Zizix is can be a really strong card, especially if you can get it earlier on.
If any of you are regular listeners to Call of Discovery, you may know I'm in contract with Disney for the TV show The Many Adventures of Zizix the Many. She'll be coming to Disney Plus in August, so keep your eye out for that.
Yes. Vampire Polite Talk says, Mars, baby, let's go. Yes. For those who are not aware, Vampire Polite Talk is, of course, the Martian, the singular Martian. Has a great collection of Mars cards. What am I thinking? Mars Mavericks, all sorts of stuff. A very, very big fan of Mars. You will have seen Vampire Polite Talk in some Vault Tour. I think it was some Worlds Collide Vault Tour, standing behind the camera with a sign saying "Bring Mars Back," if I recall.
Yes. Apart from the KeyForge history books, strong starts from both players here. A grand student with a couple of Logos cards moving through some Amber, taking that Crystal Hive offline for a turn. A lot more Mars coming down for Uchti, Compod, Invasion Portal, Crystal Hive, John Smith, and Zizix all on the board, starting to really build up a really Pit Demon and archiving Pit Demon there, and then back over to a pretty sweet Star Alliance turn for a grand student.
And we see, look at this, upgrades aplenty. There are some upgrades hitting the board. Look at that, 5 upgrades over the 3 creatures. That's a total of 2, 4, 6. That's half of the Star Alliance in the entire deck is currently deployed on the board in one form or another. This, of course, does leave some a Mars suite on the board with that John Smith, Zizix the Many, Compod, Crystal Hive, but there's always a danger playing against Misspelled Collage Dofri of those nasty tributes in Six Semper. Looks like we do see a Mars turn happen. I feel like it's tough to deny the double reap off of Zizix if you've got the creatures to support going into the archives, because you're gonna be moving cards. I suppose Invasion Portal also helps with that.
Invasion Portal hits a third of the deck. Grat Fear, Drumble, Therapy, Schuler, Mother, Hysteria, the other Hive, Pheromones, Ember Imp, Life Orb, Control the Weak, and Megamouth going into hand.
Oh, I didn't realize, but Crimson has an Arise too. So you're like probably pretty happy for that. I bet Uchti's like, sweet, that sounds good. Let's just go ahead and get through the whole deck.
Great point from Jupiter on a big Zizix that helps. That is a counter to Six Emperor. Six Emperor only targets the biggest creature, which is great. And we love seeing the that Star Alliance turn from a grand student the turn before That's just one of the strengths of Worlds Collide. Star Alliance, in that they played all those great upgrades, Force Field, all the multiple blasters, Light of the Archons, and they've all got Amber on them. So he's probably going to get his first key, while Uchti builds up his stuff across the board just from making his board even stronger.
Ooh. Gets the double. Oh man, the quad reap.
Oh,
or the quintuple reap. I don't know. The compod to ready both John Smith and Zizix the Many again.
Yes.
So that is huge.
The only limit there is going to be non-Mars creatures in hand.
But I mean, the crystal hive is also activated, so I mean, like, and another 2 reaps is still pretty nice. Yeah. Oh, a 3 reaps, 3 reaps with the Megamouth. Oh.
This is where you have to practice your exact sequencing in math to make sure that you're actually getting the maximum value out of this stuff. Look at this, 15. That's just gross.
Karen says, "Oh dear, I think that's the perfect response." Oh my.
Yep.
Oh my. That ain't right.
There's something not right about that deck.
I don't know what's going on, but something's wrong.
Uchti declares check with 15 amber.
15 amber at the end of turn 4.
At the end of turn 4, 15 amber, mostly gained
on that turn.
Mostly gained in that single turn of 15 power Zizix the Many, which is going to turn off that tribute, or turn off the 6 Semper at least, right? So my goodness.
Yeah, Uchti started that turn with 3 ember, and ended with 15. There's the 6 Emperor. Taking that out. Taking that out. That's pretty nice. The Senator Shrix comes down, which is now not actually the highest power creature, because the Terror. Or I guess it's the highest power friendly creature. So potentially can do some work there. City Gate sits the board. Phalanx Strike for the other Zizix. A not huge one. Yeah, I feel like some of the damage is done there, though. I mean, it's just four creatures in the archives. I didn't keep track. I know there was at least a Dexter, probably some other. I'm not sure if they're all of the same house in the archives, but look at that. Uchti has 2 cards left in their draw pile. Yes. 2 cards left in the draw pile. That's pretty crazy. I guess that's largely because of the invasion portal, but. Again, looking at this, the discard pile, that I guess the Arise did not get pushed through with the invasion portal, so a potential option there. And looking at the discard pile, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 logos. That phase shift into a Rise is another out for that library access. Is just you pick up all of your logos creatures, of which there's at least 3 in there, which is pretty high value. Sure. Well, back to Mars. Crystal Hive, Megamouth reaping. Terror is fighting Shrix to take Shrix off the board. So Uchti now with enough amber at current key cost to finish out the game. A Grand Student needing to rely on get his amber control really online, as he's got 1 key and 2 amber. So a little behind Uchti as far as that's concerned, which anybody would be, right, with Compod Crystal Hive shenanigans. John Smith. When you generate 12 ember on turn 4, and it's kind of tough. Especially when you just, except for the artifacts, you can drop most of those just from hand for at least half of that amber. So we got a battle fleet, a very small battle fleet, but a whole lot of reap in there too. More from of a that scouting force, expeditionary force. It was still a triple reap off of that Megamouth, again with Crystal Hive. So that's pretty. Is that what that 1, 2? Yeah, it was 3 with the Compod. Yeah. So Grand Student with Wild Wormhole getting a Golden Spiral out. That's a great play to get that out a few turns earlier than you would have otherwise. Igor to look at and pick cards off the top of the deck. Pitching Axiom and Science Officer Kincan. Remote access for Crystal Hive. You love it. He's got those 2 remote accesses in the deck. At least shutting that down a little bit. Yeah, which is at least just exhausting it. He didn't have anybody ready to reap that turn, unfortunately. So there's Uchti forging with 12 amber left over.
So really, unless he's there's no scaling steel to prep against, right? There's no steel to get out of the range of. So at this point, maybe you're just trying to disrupt Grand Student's board as much as you can. Maybe get rid of the Jargoggle in case there's house cheating tricks there. See if you can get rid of the Ingram. But yeah.
All right, we see a Logos turn, and that library access is in hand, or at least in the discard pile. So I assume we're gonna get to watch. I'm actually just gonna zoom out here just a touch so we can try and get the full picture of what's about to happen.
Yes, there's starting with a phase shift. But we know that library access is in hand because it's not in the discard and archives are picked up.
Oh, interesting. So starting with
I'm trusting that is the right call for Uchti. I just if I play a card, can I use the effect
before library access happens? I think it's your choice, right?
If Uchti has prompt simultaneous abilities turned on, then they can. Vampire Polite Talk saying, "Children, leave the room."
You can choose to draw first or resolve the action. So then plays library access. Oh, interesting. So plays phase shift first to get it into the discard pile prior to playing library access. So now they can get back to it.
Very smart. Very smart. Knew that was intentional. Didn't know why, but that's why. It was because how much was left in the pile there.
See, I don't think anything's ever a mistake at this level of gameplay. I just assume that I have no clue what's going on. So it's always good
I think they do happen, but they're only going to happen before we notice them, right? Or they're only going to happen when we realize it a little bit later. Because if we actually say, "Oh, that's a mistake," at this level, probably not. That's just somebody playing ahead of where we are, right? They know the decks, they know the matchup, they know how it's going to work. So, this is here it goes.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Playing all the Logos creatures.
Vroom, vroom, here we go.
Callum, this is pretty funny. Callum saying this feels excessive given they were all around 13 amber and 2 keys. I mean, I think it's just it's the killing stroke, right? It's the master stroke. It's the final Hame. It's the obliteration move. And of course, a Grand Student having experienced this exact situation in the glorious.
1Star's actually in chat right now. I've lost.
I mean, he's got 20 minutes before his turn comes up, so I mean, he might as well.
That's perfect.
The last card was his second Fang.
Oh, bummer.
Let him loop again. Would have let him loop it again. So, which is what he was planning for, right? When he pitched it before the library access. So, so good plays.
Oh, we got the concession. Good game. Well played. Yeah. Well played. I feel like 1Star is just sitting there, his life flashing in front of his eyes. I've been here before. All these things have happened again, or have happened before, and will happen again.
Well played on both counts. We know this is an amazing deck from a Grand Student, but that loss will knock him out of the big one presented by the Final Swindle, and Uchti will progress to the next round with hopes of making it to the finals.